So hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ruth Kim, and as you can see guys, today I have a special guest. I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Hello, beautiful people of YouTube. My name is Angela Muiruri. I am a news anchor. I'm a former beauty queen. I'm a philanthropist of the sorts. And what else do I do? I'm a hustler. Nairobi turns you into a hustler. That's what I will say.
Yes guys, and she's well known as the Kenyan queen. So guys, she came back to Kenya after being raised in USA, and I'm going to interview her today on behalf of those people who are abroad out there and maybe they want to come back one day and settle here. So Angela, I understand that you were raised in the US by your Kenyan parents. How was it like?
I mean, life in the US is different. You know, I think I felt like I lived in two cultures at once. It's like I go to school and I'm in America, but as soon as I get home, you know, everything about it screams like Kenyan culture, tradition. My parents always made sure that I know my roots and where I come from. Yeah, so I lived the best of both worlds while I was in the States.
Okay, so you guys used to practice the Kenyan culture. Back
Yeah, like when I'm home, my parents are speaking Kikuyu in the house. So people always say, how do you know Kikuyu and you don't know Swahili? And it's because my parents always spoke it at home. You know, everything from food. While other kids are taking Lunchables and sandwiches to school, you know, I had chapati, dengu, and my classmates are like, what is that? What's that? You know, so I think as a kid sometimes you feel weird being different or, you know, but as you get older, you understand the strength of your heritage and your culture, and you understand that's what really makes you stand out when you get in the world.
Okay. And at what point did you decide, or did you start thinking that you want to come back and start living here in Kenya? At what point?
I never did think about coming back to live in Kenya. So my move to Kenya was all by accident.
Okay.
I came from my cousin's wedding. I was a bridesmaid, you know, took my one suitcase. It was even such a last minute trip, so I was like in a rush to get here. And at the time I was meant to go, you know, back for Vegas 7s, but then I had missed my flight, you know, my return flight back to States. So I was like, okay, no rush to go back. Let me just chill, kidogo, extend my ticket, which everybody does. It's something about being in Nairobi. You always extend your ticket. And yeah, and I kept extending it. And eventually it was just like the ticket expired, but I kept getting just small opportunities, small gigs to do things. I started emceeing. That was my very, very first gig for an event called Fab Expo, hosted by Pinky Gelani. So she asked me to be her MC, and that was my first gig. I had no idea what I was doing, but from there it was just a domino effect. I kept getting requests to MC and host events, and probably 2 days before I was flying back to the US, I got a job offer to come work at Capital FM. And that's what kept me grounded. So once I had that, it just now made it easier for me to like seriously think about living in Kenya.
Okay, so before, back in the States, you never thought that one day I want to go back to Africa?
No. I mean, I still wake up to this day, and sometimes I'm like, man, I really can't believe I am still in Nairobi, Kenya. Like, my friends are like, Angela, what are you doing in Kenya? Like, are you a queen out there? Like, they're wondering, do I live some other, like, secret life that they don't know about? But yeah, I moved back to Nairobi, and I will say that Nairobi has some magic about it, you know? It's a growing city. Things are, you know, move quickly. Other things slowly. But yeah, my first year was definitely a steep learning curve.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a love-hate relationship with Nairobi, honestly speaking. But I do love this city. Yes.
Okay, and how was the transition like?
It was, okay. I think it's different for everybody. Visiting Kenya and living in Kenya are two completely different experiences. I think when you first get here and you're moving here, like the first 6 months is a honeymoon phase because you're still fresh in the scene, you know, everything is new and exciting and fun, and this is the ultimate party city. I don't know any other place in the world that parties more than Nairobians. You can literally go out Monday to Monday here, and it's really easy to get caught up. It's really easy. Nairobi is a very expensive city, by the way. Don't be fooled. Like, it's so expensive out here.
Yeah.
Depending on what kind of, you know, what quality of life you want to live. But yeah, it's pretty pricey. So you must learn how to hustle in the city. You can't just have one source of income and make it. But yeah, the transition, there's just so many things that used to get on my nerves. But like I said, the first 6 months of the honeymoon phase, you know, you're the life of the party, you're out all the time, you're traveling, you're sightseeing, you're being a tourist. And then reality begins to settle in, and you know, you learn the very, very small things that make Kenya Kenya. You know, everything from cultural things to the justice system that needs a lot of work. The whole thing of negotiation, I never knew how to negotiate, but when I came to Kenya, it's like no one could ever just tell you the right price. You know, the times before Uber, it's always like you're playing a tango with the taxi driver. He'll tell you some ridiculous price because he hears an accent. Then you're like, no, that's too much. And then you act like you're like, oh, whatever, boss, and you walk away. Then he's like, wait, come back, I'll give you that price. So it's like, it used to be so exhausting to me. I'm like, why can't someone just give me the right price from the beginning and we can move on? But it's part of the culture, and I've learned the art of negotiation by all that.
You had to fit in.
Yeah, man. It's either you sink or you fly out here. Yeah, so you either gotta get with it or bounce.
And how was the social life? You say your friends back in the States are asking, what are you doing here in Kenya? How was it like making new friends and leaving your old friends back in the States? How was it like, or how is it now?
One thing I will say, Kenyans are very friendly, Nairobians are very friendly, so it was rather easy, I think, to make friends. Maybe, you know, it took a while to, you know, find deep, meaningful friendships. But like I said, it's a very social city, it's a very much a party city. So it's easy to get to know people as long as you're like outgoing somewhat. It's also easy to meet con artists as well. I've met several. So I think Nairobi teaches you your street smarts. And it's a place full of so many different opportunities and experiences.
Yeah, do you have any regrets, or do you sit sometimes and think, why did I come back, or why?
Do I have any regrets? No, actually I don't. I think Kenya really helped me unravel in a different way. It really helped me explore different things about myself I don't think I would be doing. One thing I didn't mention is that I do fashion design, and coming here allowed me to explore that and try it. I think one thing that's beautiful about being out here is you can afford to take a risk. You can afford to try, you know, new things, and you don't feel like you're losing too much. If it doesn't work out, fine. If it does, and I mean, every day I just watch people wake up and live their dream, and yeah, I think it's a great place to be.
Okay, and that moment you decided, I want to stay and try it out, did your expectations meet the reality? Like,
man, I don't think I ever could imagine what Nairobi would have been like. But like I said, I think it's helped me grow. It's really pushed me. It's really challenged me. Currently, I'm a radio news anchor. Never in 1,000 years would I picture myself doing radio or doing news at that. Because news requires so much responsibility. You're sharing many, many stories of triumph, of despair. You know, it's really taxing, and some of the things that I see on a day-to-day basis is really a lot of devastation. But also understanding the power of your voice and your ability to reach people worldwide. It's like, wow, you know. So I really thank God every day.
Okay, that's a good thing. And what are the main things that you would like to let those people out there who want to come back? What are the main things that they should consider before, like, coming back?
I will say Nairobi's not for everybody, but you also can't knock it until you try it, and you really must come with an open mind. You must also, you know, come having a support system. I think having a support system and everything, if my family wasn't based here, I don't think I would have survived in Nairobi. You know, find people, either really good friends or good family members that are going to help you get acquainted, because if you've been out of Kenya like a decade, I meet people every day that return home and they're like, oh, I've been gone for 20 years. I'm like, this is not the same Nairobi that you left. Yeah, talk to diasporans that have moved back, because I know so many of my friends that have moved back home, and they're like, oh, it's the best decision I made. And then I also have other friends that are like, okay, this is not working for me. I will say the cash flow is very different in Kenya. Yeah, things just operate a lot differently than the States or the UK or whatever. So if you're so used to that orderly thing, I think the one thing to really help you survive living in Kenya or you know, flourish in Kenya, you must have a Hakuna Matata mentality. All right. So when I say that, it means literally no worries. Like you can't stress about things. I think Kenya also taught me a lot of that because everything used to get on my nerves from traffic, the diesel, the dust, the heat. Like, you know, it's so easy to complain about things. But you realize, like, life is going to happen. Things are going to happen. And Nairobi will really test your patience. But Hakuna Matata, baby. Just be patient. Just take it easy. Yeah.
Like, are you treated differently? Like, if you have a foreign degree, are you treated differently here in Kenya in terms of looking for a job?
No, I felt like work-wise, no. I don't think so because we have so many highly qualified people here. I think one thing that might make people like treat me differently or say something different is just maybe my accent. You know, people they'll get curious or want to know more. You know, in those days when there's no Uber, as soon as I open my mouth, it's just like, 3,500. You know, so, you know, maybe prices are affected and things like that, but no, professionally, no, I don't think so. But one thing I do find is, like, I feel like people are willing to take more of a risk with you. You know, like, even when I came into radio, I didn't study journalism and I don't have a background in broadcast or anything. But they say they like my voice and they're like, come in for a voice test. So I came in, did the voice test, read some scripts, and they're like, boom, we like you. Can you do news? And I'm like, I was so overwhelmed, like, gosh, this is a lot. So, but you know, you learn to roll with the punches. You learn to really embrace opportunities that come your way. Because Kenya does have one of the highest unemployment rates. Well, a high unemployment rate for young people. So I do feel blessed to be in my position. And, you know, I want to also use my work and my blessings to help bless other young people that are out there struggling. I think it also requires a lot of creativity being here. Don't just think, oh, let me go and get employed and that's enough. No. I think Nairobi also brings out the entrepreneurial spirit. So, yeah, be creative.
Can you speak like any of the Kenyan languages?
Kikuyu. I know Kikuyu is not perfect, but yeah.
Like, can we have a small conversation in Kikuyu? Like,
okay.
Uhoro aku?
Timuru.
Kwanyu niku?
Gaiberoine. Kiambu.
Wasokire Kenya ri?
Like 2014.
Oh, nice. And can you speak Swahili?
Okay, actually, embarrassing enough to say I can't really. Moving back, I actually knew not one drop of Swahili. Like, Swahili sounded like Chinese to me. At least now I can hear. Conversing, though, is a bit difficult, but try. Let's see, like, how well my Swahili is.
Mambo.
Poa. That one I know.
Unapenda Nairobi?
Sana.
Na ile place unapenda sana huku Nairobi town ni wapi?
Nairobi textiles because I love fabric. Okay, so now I can hear, but now it's hard for me to say like, what I want to say. But yeah, at least you know, I'm learning slowly. But I learned so much from like taxi guys and guys like in the markets because you know they're not gonna like most of them won't speak English to you right off. They'll just start speaking to you, and so really, so you got to figure it out. So I think just submerging myself within the CBD, I learn from.
But you understand a lot of Swahili more than you can.
Yeah,
like, speak.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay. And what advice do you have for people out there who maybe want to come back but they don't have any idea? What advice?
I mean, I had no clue what I was doing when I came here. I mean, literally, boom, no plan, nothing. So I feel like if I can make it, you can definitely make it. But if I did it differently and I had the opportunity to plan, I would say, you know, speak to other diasporans that are here. I would say do your research. One thing that's really huge in Kenya is social media. So if there's something that you already do independently, you know, whether it's fitness, blogging, traveling, whatever, there's so many opportunities to collaborate with a lot of brands out here. I know social media is big. I believe Kenya's like the leader when it comes to the online, you know, market and online engagement. I think we're either, if not one, maybe second in the whole continent when it comes to online content and interaction. I would say, you know, keep in tune with what's happening in Kenya. And the beauty of the digital world is that we have created the global village, you know. So it's easy to keep up with the trends and what's happening. You know, if you have something to do with, you know, green energy, sustainable development when it comes to items, bring them here, test them out. Or if you're in a city where you're like, this would be amazing to have in Kenya, bring the idea here. And I think that's what a lot of people do. So, you know, entrepreneurs is a great place to be. And you must come with an open mind. Don't just come being all rigid and expecting everything to be like the diaspora. No.
So Angela, we have a movement. It's called Africa to the World movement, where we are trying to show the good side of Africa to the rest of the world, because the Western media is always showing the bad side of Africa but not the good side of Africa. And today I just want to let you know that you're one of the biggest examples, because most of us, I'm also one of them, we are trying our best to leave our continent and go out there thinking that life is better on the other side. It's good, they have better education, but it's always good when you get the education from there, you come and give it back to your country, or you come and invest whatever you get from that side back to your country. And this interview was just like, I just wanted to show people out there that you can make it also here in Kenya. You know,
Yes,
you don't
you
have
can.
to be out there, you can make it as well. And the love that you have for Kenya, it's, you know, I follow her on social media and she's loving it here, guys. She's enjoying it.
I
So
am.
as we all plan to come back, guys, we have an example and we can make it.
Kenya
We
to
can
the
make
world,
it.
Africa
Yes.
to the world. But yeah, Africa is right now, like they say. And yeah, just at least come explore. Come explore, test it out. You know, you'll never know until you try. And if it doesn't work out, that's still fine. I think you'll make a lot of, you know, lifelong connections and friendships regardless of whether you stay here or not. So check it out.
So that was it, guys. Thank you so much, Angela,
Thank
for
you.
coming, for taking your time
Thank
to be
you.
on this channel. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.